In my previous videos, I talked about how I went through, I pulled the data for a bunch of different videos, I watched a bunch of different videos myself, and I manually categorized different things about the videos. I showed this graphic, and I want to show it again to kind of talk about what all of these things mean and what I saw when I was reviewing all the videos. Up here, these are all the videos that did really well. They got the #1 rank. And then here at the bottom, these are the videos that were always in the #4 or #5 spot. And they don't stay on the carousel for very long. I looked at the average date being on the carousel, and it's not a long time. It looks like Amazon holds on to that #1 spot until it finds something better, but that #1 spot can stay there for years. Whereas the #4 and 5 spot, these usually cycle through pretty quick. So what are the things to avoid? You see unboxing, introductions, features, personal testimony. Let's talk about these things for a second. When I was watching all of the videos, the main thing I saw over and over again was people would start the video introducing the product. And I get it. I've done this hundreds of times. The reason you do this is it feels the most natural. It feels like you need to introduce the product before you can start talking about it. But here's why that's not true. When people are on the Amazon page, they already know what the product is. They have already been introduced to it. And if they've watched other people's videos, then they know even more about the product. You introducing the product to other people is wasting their time. They don't need to know what the product is if they already know what it is. The thing you want to focus on, and this is backed up by analytics, you want to focus on demonstrating the product. You want to focus on showing B-roll, close up, showing how the product actually works in a real life scenario, not just in your bedroom, not just on a desk, not just on the kitchen table. If it's an outdoor product, you show it outdoors. If it's a kitchen product, you show it in the kitchen. I think one of the best things you can do before you make a video is, as you get the product, think in your head, what are the questions I have about this product before I even use it? Those are probably the same questions that other people have. For example, I have this razor on my desk, so I will use this for an example. People might want to know how loud it is. You can't get that through a picture. People might want to know how fast or how close of a shave it gets. Most people don't care if you tell them. If I go like this and say, ooh, that's the cleanest shave I've ever had in my life, you saw me do it. You saw I didn't shave. I didn't do anything. If I grew out my hair for 3 days and then I actually turned this on and I showed you me shaving and I showed you how fast it is, that's what people want to see. That's what people want to know about. They don't want to hear your testimony. They don't want to hear how much you love something. They know you're selling a product. You're not fooling anyone. They want to see for themselves. And if other videos are not answering those questions and you can answer that in your video is going to have more success. Another thing I want to talk about is with thumbnails and titles. So let me get my head out of the way here. Really quick with thumbnails, I want to mention the most obvious thing I saw was thumbnails that were auto-generated by far did the worst. And the thumbnails where you could tell that some effort was put into making them, they did well. So thumbnails with text, they did well. One common trend I saw, and I actually do this myself, was just someone holding the product, but kind of in the video themselves, and then they just take a screenshot of that and put text over it. That's what I do for my products. I just hold it kind of front and center so you can see it really well. I move my head out of the way, but you can still see my head. I add some text. I'm not saying that's a great way to do it or that's how you should do it, but the analytics point to people putting some effort into thumbnails. It does well. Now that doesn't mean that people see good thumbnails and they're clicking on those videos necessarily and watching it. It could be an indication that people who put more effort into videos also put more effort into thumbnails. But if you're a person who just uses Amazon auto-generated thumbnails, that's an easy place to start. Just start making your own thumbnails. Put a little bit more effort into doing things, and maybe that effort will translate into your videos as well, and you'll start seeing more success. Another thing I thought was interesting was with titles. Because I had the titles for thousands of videos, I was able to run analytics into what titles meant and how titles worked. And there are a few things that surprised me and a few things that didn't. If you look over here, and I don't think these percentages are exactly correct, but the videos in the #1 spot, some of the common keywords were comparison or test. And that doesn't mean you just add random keywords, but that means that your video should be focused on comparisons, or tests. So maybe if you get in the habit of using those keywords for your videos, then you might get in the habit of creating those type of videos, and that will help out a lot. What didn't do well, and one of these isn't on here, but honest review did really poorly. That was always in the number 4 or number 5 position, and those videos are always getting replaced by other videos. The other thing, watch before you buy. I feel like 2 years ago, someone made a video and said, hey, put watch before you buy on every single video title, and people will click on it. I don't know where they got that data from or that idea. Maybe it worked at the time, but the analytics I saw suggests that those videos are always in the lower end of the upper carousel. They're not going to get you in the number 1 or number 2 spot like test or compare is. After looking over hundreds of videos myself and viewing them and then going over the analytics, the same patterns showed up over and over and over again. If you want to improve your videos, there's a few quick and easy things you can do right now that will instantly improve the quality of your videos. The first thing is, don't start your video out introducing the product, sharing a testimonial, or anything like that. The data suggests you should always start your video showing how the product solves a problem or how it works, how it functions, a close-up of the product, get the product in action. And based on the videos, I saw a lot of people do this a lot, but they do this in the middle of the video. The good news is you can just cut out the beginning part of your video, start in the middle, and you'll be all set. Your video will already be better than it would have been keeping the intro in. Another thing I saw over and over again is the video length is probably the single best indicator if the video is going to be on the number 1 spot or not. This was nearly universally consistent through all of the videos I gathered data on, all of the videos I watched. If the video is longer, then it ranks higher. I don't think this means to just make longer videos. I think this means make better videos, add more details to your videos, and your videos are going to end up being longer than they were before. Another quick and easy change to make, if you're not putting text on your thumbnails, just do it. If you're using Amazon to generate your thumbnails, just do a quick and easy screenshot, find the best part of your video or something like that, show the product in action or a close-up of the product, add text on it. Those are the thumbnails that do the best. In your titles, stop saying all the catchphrases that people have been using, like honest review. Just do a descriptive title that describes what is shown in the video. Comparison of these 2 razors. Testing out this razor. Of these 2 razors, this one is the best. It doesn't take much mental capacity to think of a title that describes your video. Just do that. I've watched too many videos. I feel like it's changed me as a person. I'm sorry. And the last thing I would say, based off all of the analytics and the data I've seen, is more B-roll. Add more B-roll. It's great if you want to do that point and shoot thing. It's great if you want to set up your phone on a tripod and have it film you talking about the thing, but add more B-roll. Show the product in use. Show it in action. In my next video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do my videos, how I'm adding B-roll. Honestly, it's pretty easy. It's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of time, but ever since I've started doing videos this way, I've seen a lot more success.